Hi everyone, Mike here with Terrible Infant, and I'm back to do some more movie reviews. This is actually going to be something a little different. This is going to be a series of reviews because I recently watched all 5 of them, count them, 5 Phantasm movies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 of them were available on Amazon with, I believe, the second or third one not being available, so I just rented that. I am going to review them all, I'm going to rate them all, and then I'm going to rank them all. So there's going to be a lot of Phantasm videos coming up. I hope you enjoy that. So let's get started with Phantasm, the first one. So I have the poster for the remastered version. There's a 4K remastered version on Amazon right now available. It's pretty cool, pretty good looking for a film that was made in 1979. So if you haven't seen Phantasm, I definitely recommend for you to go and check that out. So Phantasm stars A. Michael Baldwin, or Michael Baldwin in this film, Bill Thornberry, Reggie Bannister, Kathy Lester, and Angus Scrimm. Angus Scrimm plays the tall man, the bad guy, the villain of the series. They call him the tall man because he is really tall. It's not super creative. So let's get into the plot a little bit. Like classic horror fashion, we open with 2 people having sex in a graveyard because, I mean, what better place to have sex, right, in the local graveyard? And it's this woman and this guy having sex, and she, of course, she kills him, right? But not before showing her breasts and having sex with him, right? Because that's important in a horror film. You have to do that first. Anyway, she kills him. We jump cut to the next day or the day, or, you know, sometime in the near future. He's being buried. His friends are all there, and we meet Mike, who's 12, I think he's a 13-year-old in this film, who is sort of sneaking around and spying on him. So we get the impression that he either knew the guy or he knows some of the people at the funeral. And we find out that his older brother is at the funeral. Mike has this sort of dark backstory where his parents recently died and were buried there. And now his brother is taking care of him, but his brother's not, you know, he's like probably early 20s himself, and he's trying to get his life together himself. He's not really a grown-up, all that, you know, ready to take care of a 13-year-old kid. So he watches this funeral, and after it's all done and everyone leaves, Angus Scrimm, who plays the tall man, like I said, he comes back in a hearse, and this one skinny old dude lifts the whole coffin out of the ground by himself, tosses it in the hearse, and drives off. Huh? Really confusing, right? Why is he doing that? And that's kind of the story. You find out he's taking these bodies and doing something to them that turns them into these little dwarves that are like his slaves or servants, basically, and they attack people, and they're kind of nasty looking. So obviously no one believes Mike at first, and then he sneaks into the funeral home for some reason, you know, 13-year-old boy, and you see this dude who's lifting coffins by himself, so what are you going to do? You're going to sneak into the funeral home and mess with him, right? And of course, you know, shit goes down there. The tall man controls these little spheres. They're just like round chrome balls that fly around, but they have these like little like razors or stabbing things out on them, and they fly through the air and they hit you in the face or wherever, right? And you think that's the end, you know, they just go in you and you die. But no, they impale you a little bit, and then like a little drill comes out and starts slowly drilling until it gets like right in your forehead and then just starts drilling. And there's one of these shots, there's a scene of a guy who has that happen to him, and it's the most gory scene in the film because it does that. And then right there, the other end of it, like just a stream of blood comes shooting out. It's like disgusting and nasty and cool. So basically, it comes down to Mike, his brother, and his brother's friend Reggie, who becomes the main character throughout the whole series with Mike. It's up to them to go and try to stop the tall man, try to stop him from basically killing the whole town. And yeah, that's the film in a nutshell. This is a low-budget horror film from 1979. It was directed by, and I don't want to get the name wrong, Don Coscarelli, right? And, you know, overall, it's pretty good. It's got a sort of eerie vibe. It's sort of got a little bit of a gothic horror vibe to it. The tall man is very intriguing and kind of spooky and a little scary. The film is a little weird and spooky and different, and has some cool music in it. There's like these drone sounds in it that kind of are spooky. The idea is very interesting. You know, it's an undertaker who works in this funeral home who's stealing bodies and turning them to dwarves and bringing them back. It's pretty cool. So this one, the first Phantasm, I would rate a 3.5 out of 5 stars. The things I wish were a little different is it's a little silly, it's a little goofy for my liking, because, and I don't know if it really tries to be, but it just is. You know, like the way they talk, some of the things they say, their best friend being, you know, an ice cream vendor, and some of this other stuff. Like, it's a little goofy the way the dwarfs also attack, and like they're like Mike and his friends are kind of scared of them, but whenever they attack, they really don't do any damage. So I wish it was a little bit more serious there. But overall, it is a fun, spooky, solid horror film from 1979 that got this franchise going, and I would highly recommend you to check it out. So in the next video, I will be discussing about its sequel, the second one. So if you enjoy this, please subscribe. Please follow us here on YouTube. We also have our Instagram channels, which will pop up below me. Follow us there for cool videos, original content, all that kind of stuff. And I will see you next time.